I can't stream on my phone. It comes up saying I do not have the permissions or something, so I have to do it on here as I would if I was streaming one of my games. But let's get into it. Why I won't buy from Zavvi again? Nah, it got to like November time. You got the Black Friday stuff coming up and all of that, and you know your Christmas sales, your January sales, and that's when I tend to buy a lot of my pops. I like to sometimes have two of the same pop to store them in different places in my room and another place and things like that. So I order quite a bit when they're on sale. And yeah, just to start with, the packaging is absolutely terrible. Like most of the places that are linked with them, it's the same. Um, they just send you the pops in a box. None of them are individually wrapped, not even bubble wrapped, nothing. Sometimes you're lucky if you get a couple of air bubbles in there, just to fill out the box, that is, to stop any movement, I guess you could say, even though it's a pathetic way of doing so. And you might be lucky if you get a bit of brown paper on the top. So naturally, you get your order, and even if the postman has, taken, good care, what you would consider good care of your parcel, you can notice there's no, dents on the outer box or anything like that. The fact of how they've packed them and the movement around they have, even though they think there isn't because they've put their air bubbles in, that little bit of movement that it's got, well, there's loads of parcels and that parcel's going here, they're getting knocked and they're getting knocked and they're getting knocked. Like, and sometimes you can drop a pop from head height and pick it up and you look at it and think it don't even look like I've dropped it. There's no damage on it. They can be quite, um, you know, they can take a hit, is what I'm saying. But some of the ones I've seen, sometimes I think, honestly, that 80% of them has got to be that they've sent them to me like that. Because like when you get a pop as a collector, you get it and you look at the front, you look at the sides, you look at the back, you look at the top, you look at the bottom. You're not just like, you don't get it and then just go, oh, that looks good, like, and you put it down. You look at the condition, and like that's another thing that I consider, is that the people they have working for them, they might not be collectors. They don't know that this little, crease here is gonna cause that issue, and what they need to do is have a system where if any of these ones are damaged, and I know they do damaged, like pop in a box, for instance, they do like damaged mystery box or whatever, where you can buy one of these damaged pops that's been damaged, and you could get a 30 quid pop, for your £6.99, and it's just got a bit of damage on it. And sometimes, this is what I don't understand, is because I still receive damaged pops and pop in the box as well, so they must not take all the damaged ones off and put them in these sections as well. But like, you don't even need to do damaged mystery boxes and lose that much money. You could just like sell out of box. You'd be better off as a company to take them out of the box and sell them at a discounted price, or keep them in the box but label them out of box, same listing, same pop, list it as out of box even though it comes in the box but there's damage to the box, and you'll get more money for the pop. Some people are okay with, or collect them out of box, but to sell them to people on the off chance that they're going to take them, it's just stress. And then this is where it comes into the second part of Zavvi. So, and this is same with pop in the box, same with anything linked with these, right? You go onto their customer service and you message them. You'll get a message back maybe 48 hours later, maybe 24 sometimes if you're lucky, and it will say confirm your details. You confirm your details, you get another message 24 hours later saying like what seems to be the problem, and this is repeated, and you get, after that message you'll get, please can you, as such a time has passed, can you please confirm your details again. So now I've got to confirm myself again. We've got nowhere yet, and with this particular one, these orders were placed like 11th of December. I'm still now waiting to speak to someone about this. They keep passing me through to people. Finally, I got through to somebody. I had two problems. One was saying I'd ordered had not been dispatched, and obviously the damaged pop. So they started with the dispatch because that was the last thing I'd mentioned. That got resolved, so to speak. I got their answer. and all of a sudden it was marked as completed, and they completely forgot about the damaged pops. So I got through to somebody else, and at this point, obviously, I've ordered quite a bit, so I've got maybe what, I can't count the orders I've got on my hands, right? And I get a message. I've listed all the pops that are damaged. I get a message back after sitting there waiting a month, saying, "Can you please list all the pops and their order numbers?" Well, I've listed the pops in the message above that they've just read. So now, after waiting a month and having them mess me about and mess me about and mess me about and mess me about, they want me to sit on my phone, go through all of the orders, cross-reference the pops that I said are damaged and what their order number is, list them down, and then provide that back to them. So they want me to do their work for them. So that they've had me stressing and wasted all of my time, and this is honestly gone on for since the 11th of December, right? And obviously I know you've got the Christmas period and that in between, right? And it's just constant back and forth, roundabouts, back, and then till I'm back to the same point, till I'm back to the same point. I finally get somewhere, and something that would take them maybe 15-20 minutes to do their end, which they have access to and can do, just quickly go onto my account, check all my orders, find the pops that are on the list, put them into order numbers. If that's what you need to do, that's what you need to do. But instead they choose to message me back and say, actually, we're going to waste some more of your time. Can you please do our job for us, and take what would take us 20 minutes to do for you an hour, and go through all of these lists of things that you've bought, find the ones that come from the right list for the order numbers, note down all the order. Like, no, mate, you do that. I've given you the list of damaged pops. You've wasted all of my time. You've got access to it. Why have I got to do that? It's not my fault. You're sending me damaged pops. If you're busy because of the Christmas period, I can understand that, but that's not my fault either. It's your fault because you've had the chance to do this from the 11th of December. So I've just refused to do that. 1 second. So, sorry about that. Yeah, where was I? I've refused to do that. I've messaged them back saying, this is a list of the pops, I'm not doing your job for you. You know, I've left a review, and now I'm doing this. I wouldn't say they're rude at all, but just a lack of... Like, if you're going to own a Funko Pop company, you've got to employ people with a passion for Funko Pops, right? First and foremost, right, in the packaging department. You can't just employ people who don't understand what these things are, and that to some people, you know, they like to keep them in good condition, and they'll probably get it, maybe stick it in a protector, and it will sit like that for so many years. And they'll pick up the pop off the shelf, and this pop could have certain flaws, and to someone who doesn't understand pops, right, you could easily miss these flaws. And then to send, like, they're losing money by not employing the right people. In all honesty, they are, because if you think about it, these damaged pops that I've got, once I send them back, they probably go in the damage section. So some of these pops are like, one of them was 35 quid, you know. So they can't sell it at that, which likely means it will go in that mystery £5.99 or £6.99, whatever it is, right? This is pop in the box, this one I'm referring to, right? And they're just losing money from it. You think that's like 29 quid they're losing, and it's just like, why are you going to do that? You employ someone in the first place. Get a few people, organising to look through all the stock, to double check all through all the stock again, and anyone with imperfections like that, put them to side, list them as out of box for you know, like 10% cheaper, or what is it? They say 60 to 80% an out of box is worth compared to a boxed. So what? Do it at 70%, take off 30%. You know, that £35 pop you're talking about there, you're only going to be losing a tenner, just over a tenner. You're not going to be losing, you know, 29 quid. And then the return, the postage, the returns, and all of that you're causing yourself. Just don't send them it in the first place. Or if you're going to send it, package it better. I've got an email. I've got an email from Pop in a Box today, saying that over the next few months they plan to implement a system where they're going to be changing all of the way that they package their pops. So I'm happy with that, because that's something I've been on about for a while. Because their packaging is just as poor. Let me read these comments quickly as well. Oh, it's cheesy. Yeah, so it's going on cheesy a long time. Not played Rocket League in a while. Yeah, they're going to be changing the packaging, and like that really needs to be done, because it's just a waste of time when these get damaged. But mainly my point in doing this is just to show them they can't like keep doing what they're doing and just causing people stress, and then expecting them to do their jobs for them as well on top of that. It's just ridiculous. Other things wrong with Zavvi is I find them very unprofessional, because they had this offer on, and at Christmas obviously where I'm looking at pops I have a look at other things, and I see a few things and it says what is it, 6 for 30 or something it was. And I clicked on a few things and I clicked these Batman figures, and one of the boys is a fan of Batman, like really likes Batman, and it's this blind bag Batman. I'm looking at it, I think nice little figure, and it says £8.99 instead of £89.99. I think I said to my missus, I said, well, that's meant to be 89 quid, 90 quid. I said, that must be fucking good then. I said, I'm going to get 3 of them for him. I said, if they're worth 90 quid and they're down to 8.99 and I can get them 3 and say another 3 and only pay 30 quid or whatever it was, I'm like, that's really good. I'll do that. Well, I'll do that. I'll buy them for him. Bought them for him. They turn up. They were not 89 and 99. And I clocked it after, because later on they put them on sale again, because they've come off of sale. They done another sale before Christmas. This is Black Friday sale. They've done another sale before Christmas. They put them on there again, and the price weren't £89.99. So clearly an error had been made when they're typing up their prices, right? And what website would have an error like that? I've never seen anything like it. Like for a big company like that, for you to go onto their webpage, and it was on there for a good few days. Like I don't know, for the whole sale, I believe. Like, how can you go on there professionally to change your company or your website and enter wrong amounts like that? Because if you bought one of those, it wouldn't have counted. No, it didn't say £8.99. It was just £89.99, right? It was supposed to be £8.99. Well, that's what I think, right? So if you went onto your basket and you entered 5 of them, you'd pay £89.99 each. That's what you would have paid for these figures, hands up and down, right? Because I put them all in the basket, and I noticed when I was taking things out and there was no longer 6 items for the deal to have 30, it was going up like £562 or something for these stupid figures, right? Someone could have actually paid that for that figure. That is not professional. That is so bad. That is so bad. It's unreal that you can go onto a site, you look at it, and then by the picture you could just be thinking, oh, this must be really rare, or the size, you know, because the descriptions weren't very good there or anything. You didn't know what size it was or whatever. You thought, oh, maybe it's really big, you know. 89 quid Batman statue, sweet. I'll give that a flutter, you know. And you get it, and it's some little pack, right? And you've been charged 89 quid. And how unprofessional is that for a company as big as them to have a website where they list things, and whoever's doing it is getting the prices completely wrong to the point where they're charging people the wrong amounts, and they probably have. I'd like to assume that they have, or people have bought things and paid more just because of someone's error. And that's what I'm saying. It's so much unprofessionalism amongst these companies, right? And all you see, and it's really strange, because in this world people love to complain, right? And if you go and check the reviews, all you will find, mostly, from what I've seen, like I checked their Trustpilot Zavvi, 63% excellent reviews, right, which ain't great anyway, right? But us as people who are getting all this bad from them are less common to go and tell them about it and leave the reviews, and that's what needs to be done. Is people need to start leaving reviews, and if you had a bad experience in the past, you can go on there now, leave them a review. Like, I don't want the company to stop or fold or anything like that, but they need to be put into a realisation where they understand that they're not up to scratch at all, and you can't continue to operate the way that you're operating, because it ain't fair on your customers. You know, like I've got things for Christmas that are damaged, that are Christmas presents. I've got 11th of December, you know. From that point, you can get them back and I can get them again. Alright, it's a busy period, so I can understand a little bit. But then to continue that for now a month of the constant, like, I'd have to show you for you to understand fully what I'm saying, you know. Go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I would say shop with them with caution. They need to make big changes. I don't know how that will go about happening, in all honesty. Popping the box and making good steps to try and change things, which is good. But yeah, I just can't express enough how bad my experiences have been. And even popping the box, just reply to my tweet now, because I tweeted that their picture. We're always happy to help, and we try to give every issue as much attention as possible. We want collectors to feel they're getting good service, especially as we're collectors ourselves. Tonincha. So that's what they've just said to me on Twitter, because I tweeted the response I got, the message, saying about they're planning to change their packaging. Now, I'm not saying I've done that single-handedly. Like, they've had loads of complaints over time, but I've been on their case, like, bad. Like, I even had a company send me some pops. Like, as I say, I collect a lot of pops. I love Funko Pops, right? They sent me some pops, and they're not an official Funko company. Like, they don't just sell Funkos. They sell like kids stuff for Christmas. I was buying a few bits for the kids for Christmas as well. It's mainly that, like mainly kids stuff in it. And they sent me these pops, and every single one of them in the box was in another box individually. And alright, they weren't, in my opinion, they should have been bubble wrapped inside these boxes as well, right? Because there was room for play, and they could knock about. So they should have. None of them were damaged. They should have been wrapped in bubble wrap as well, which they weren't. Now that's what I would do if I was packaging these. I would wrap them in bubble wrap, right? Then put them in another box, then box them. And if you don't want to put them in another box, then what you do is you use a bigger box and you don't fill it as much. You put them centre, and you package a lot around them. You don't just fill the box completely so that you can fit as many pops in there as you can, and then just, like, you know, stick a couple of air bubbles in there, like big air bubbles, just so that the box is full. That ain't gonna help. You know, you don't want really anything touching the edges, and if they are touching the edges, then you want it to be in double boxed, so that it's got that spongy effect to it. You don't want it to be getting knocks and then it gets to your customer ain't happy, you've got to return, you've got to pay for that return. You know, that pop might then not be in stock because of this. Like, what about if, like, these people, like, this has happened with me a lot with some of these pops, is what I'm saying, yeah? A lot of the pops that I have got damaged, they can't send me another one, because in the meantime, as how long this has all took, all the ones that I wanted are now sold out or out of stock. So when it comes to me and me having my resolution, right, I could have a pop that I bought and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's good, look at that, I've managed to grab that there, 15 quid, it's worth 25, that's sweet. And they're going to go, oh, here's your 15 quid back, because actually that damaged one we sent you, we've not got it in stock no more, so you've not got your pop. And it's like, you people are looking forward to getting these, so just, like, save the aggro by changing your packaging is your main thing. Your customer service, what that needs, well, I'm not saying less security, right? Because all right, yeah, good, you're secure as hell, right? You're asking me for all this information, right? If you're going to ask someone for information, put them at top priority, right? So that once they've sent you this information, they're getting a reply again straight away. For them to sit there and wait 24 hours just to get a reply saying, "Can you please confirm this?" and then have to wait another 24 hours, that is honestly ridiculous, right? Either that or, right, in your message when they're messaging you, have some sort of note to say, please, when you message us, please confirm all account details so that your problem can be, I was looking for a better word than problem, your problem can be dealt with immediately, alright? If they can then list, oh yeah, my name's Joe Blogs, my email is joeblogs@yahoo, my address is Joe Blogs Street, right? At the top, in some sort of menu, like custom made little what are they called? Anyway, custom made message that they've already got preset, right? And you've got these details you've got to fill out, and then your problem, right? Send. I ain't going to get a message back going, can you please confirm yourself, and then have to wait for that person to see that. And then sometimes I've had it where they ain't replied to that, and their next message is, due to the length of time that has passed, can you please, like, that's what you just said to me, I did that, you ain't seen it, and now you want me to do it again. That's 4 days of my time. Put them priority so that they're at the top after you've sent them that message, or make it so that they know to type that stuff when they're asking the message, when they're asking the question, and then that is linked to the question, so it don't matter how much time has passed, because they clearly asked that. They've confirmed themselves, they've asked the question, you can reply to that question. That's done. You don't need to ask again if it's been 2 days, because you know that that's the person who owns the account, because they've secured their account when they've asked the bloody question, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's about it, really. Are you still here, Cheesy? You still here? What am I doing, mate? What am I doing? An error has occurred. Well, what's going on here? Yeah, so that's it, right? Packaging, change the way you're packaging them. You know, I'm not saying fire people, yeah, but maybe reassign some people. If you've got people in packaging that just don't really care, then get them out, put them on something else. You know, I'm not saying fire people. I don't want people to lose their jobs or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not an evil person, right? But like, make sure the people that are packaging them know what they're doing. You know, what would it take for you to get all your packages in for an hour, right? And explain to them, look, you're not doing a sufficient job, right? Things are getting damaged. We need to pick it up. Here's going to be an hour of blah blah blah. Who's going to show you how we want every parcel package. We want every parcel package exactly the same. You're going to be using this, you're going to be using that, you're going to be keeping the boxes centre, you know, maybe even go to say certain pops, like, you know, if you've got pops that are, you know, are not very high value and you wouldn't really care so much if, you know, one gets damaged and you have to send them another, right, then don't put, you know, you don't want to lose money, tighten where you can tighten, you know, if you've got like 20,000 of this pop, right, then whatever, you know, and they're only like what pop value of £4 and they're not selling very often. You don't have to go so mad with things like that, right? But if you're selling a pop that someone's paying £35 for, if they're doing orders that are like, you know, £300 or whatever, don't just shove all their pops in there like that. Like my damages over the last month is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money, right? And it's just ridiculous. And the thing is, the time that it takes as well. It's daunting. Like, I feel that way when I order Funko Pops now. I look on them, right, and I think I'm already thinking about the problem once I receive them. That's the first thing I'm thinking of, and I shouldn't be thinking like that. I shouldn't even be thinking that at all. But like, automatically now, I could look at it and think, I hope they pick out a decent one for me. And I've even emailed them and said, look, a lot of orders here, big orders, I don't want them missing. I asked before, as soon as I bought them, I had a bit of trouble, and I emailed them and I said, can you please make sure? And like, it's weird because some ways I feel like they listen to me, because it's really strange actually. So like, I'd get parcels, and some of them would look like they listen to me, like they're bubble wrapped, like they've done really good job. But I think like one or two of them, they've done it right, but they filled the box so much full of pops that they just come damaged anyway. Regardless, like, bubble wrap's not like a bulletproof vest. You can bubble wrap them, but you're not, like, if you're not packaging them right still with and you're bubble wrapping, they're gonna get damaged. Like, it's not, bubble wrap is not, the best. It helps. It helps, of course it does. But like, if you're gonna package them to the point where you're packing out the box so that there's things touching the edge, whether they're bubble wrapped or not, if they get a bit of pressure, they're gonna go. The box is it's box. It's cardboard. It's cardboard in cardboard. What do you think's gonna happen? It's not steel. So that was the weird thing. That's why I say it was really weird, because they tried, but then the fact that they tried, they still failed. Like, not on all of them. I'd say there was about 6. This is pop in the box. There was about 6 that I got. I would say, I couldn't be sure on the exact number, that they've tried on. Like, I still received some. This is what's even more strange about it. I still received some, and they've not tried at all. So I'm not sure if it's like certain departments or certain packers that are like just doing better jobs, or if there is a note on the system to say send these and only certain people are seeing it, or if they're coming from different. Well, I've got no clue, right? But they are trying. I can see that. Like, some of them, like, there has been a bit of improvement in a sense. But then, like, the last ones I got, it was just a box, and not a very sturdy box, and the box was just full of pops, and there was not even any air bubbles in it, and there was just a bit of brown paper stuck on top. And funnily enough, none of them were damaged. Actually, there was one, and I even reported that one. It's got a scratch on the front plastic cover to the box, which obviously ain't great. It's a thick scratch down the middle of the display, and I didn't even mention that one. I just remembered because I was talking about it. But they weren't that bad. They weren't damaged. Boxes weren't dented and things like that, which when I saw it, as soon as I took the paper off, I expected to pull one out that was damaged, at least one, but no, they were fine. So sometimes they are fine, and they use different boxes as well, is another thing. Like, if you have got a big order, they use these boxes that are very thin, but they're big. Whereas if you, which is what they need to stop using them boxes first and foremost, or if they're going to use them, then they need to double box, and put things like, get one of their other boxes and put them in there. They could do that easily. I don't know why they don't just do that, in all honesty. But yeah, they could box. Well, postage, I suppose. I can understand why they're not sending them all off in the smaller boxes. That would be the only way. Is you've got to use one of them big boxes. Because I was going to say, they've got these smaller boxes, and they're actually really thick. Like, you can send things in them, probably with no protector. I mean, no bubble wrap, right? And they would just be fine. Even that, our cheaper Funko protectors, they're quite cheap. Like I'm sure as a pop company, they have got a way, right? I'm sure they have got a way to have contacts where they can get huge quantities of Funko Pop protectors at a really cheap price. And I'm not saying do it for free, right? Maybe charge an extra 50p or whatever it is on top, or 75p or whatever it is on top of what the pop is, right? And make it now so that all pops come with the protectors. People will pay it. You know, you could optionally maybe sell them out of box at a cheaper price, right? Have it as an additional option if you wanted to. So they go down, it says from £10.99 for this pop. They click on this little bit here that says here, options, £10.99 out of box, like, sorry, let me rephrase that, £8 out of box, box damaged, right, OBB, brackets, box damaged. Second one, normal one, pop, £10.99, pristine condition, right? Another option, pop £11.65, right, or whatever it is you want to do, in protector. And then I'm sure people would buy them in the protector. I'm sure, like I'd buy it in a protector for an extra 70p or whatever it is, and I know you can get them cheaper than that. I know you can, because you can buy them for like £1, you know. Like I could probably get hold of one for £1, a pop protector. So if I can get hold of one for £1, I'm pretty sure a professional Funko Pop selling company can get hold of one for 70p. Right? Less than that, I reckon you can get them for about 30p a throw, I reckon. And you can happily charge me 75p for it and I'll pay it. Right? So you're making money by doing it. You've now got protection on your pops. They can go into the protectors in your warehouse when you receive them, which means while they're on the shelves and whilst anyone's handling them, you've got a less chance of damaging them. When you send them, they're going to be more protected, which means you're going to lose less money from having people return and less money from replacing and then having to sell the ones as damaged, or telling the person the other end just keep it and we'll resend you the pop, which you do sometimes, right? And you're making money from doing it. All I see is win, 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 no matter what. Like, it's not rocket science, and I just think to myself, give me a bloody job. Like, I'll fix your company for you. You know what I mean? It's not hard. It's really not hard. You just need someone with a bit of noddle who likes, who's inspired, who loves pops. You know, who likes them, who has a passion for them. You can't just. It's a shame. It honestly is a shame because you could do so much more as a company, you companies, but you're just failing. It's sad. It's sad. But I suppose, as I say, if all the people like myself who have had all these negative impacts from them are not pushing the boundaries and trying to make a change, then change won't happen. Because if they can't see a fire, if they can't see the smoke, they're not going to put out the fire. So anyway, that's my rant on. But I said I'd do it. I told them I'd do one. I said to them I'm doing a YouTube video, so I've done it. Yeah, I just want them to know, like, they're taking the mick. And I ain't happy, and I'm not going to stop until they solve it. So Twitter and other things have just been boom, 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 boom. So let's see if anyone sees this and what comes of it, because most people don't see things, but where it's linked to Zavvi, maybe someone there will see it. Maybe someone from Pop in the Box will also see it, because it's linked to Zavvi and their companies are linked somewhere. I don't know how they're linked, but I know because when I message the customer service people at both places, it's the same agent. Yeah, if they see it, make me head of your company, and you make more money. I'll double your earnings a year, and cause less stress. You know, it's just mad that you can't have someone in charge who can just go, oh yeah, like, this is the problem, this is what we could do. What do we do? Like, these are the options. Like, I've just listed so many, and that's just off the top of my head. Like, so many ways they could improve. But I ain't sitting there on a 9 to 5 thinking about it. You know, it ain't hard. I'm just trying to think of something else even better now. Like giving myself like 5 minutes to think of something else I can do. I don't know. I can't think of nothing else. I've been put on the spot. Put myself on the spot and I failed. But I was thinking about their free gifts they do and that sometimes. But even that I feel bad because they send me, you spend 50 quid, you get a free gift or whatever. I get the free gift and the kiss damage, and it's like, well, it's a free gift, but still, it's damage. Come on, like, it didn't say damage when I was given the free gift, and you think to yourself, oh, but it's not supposed to be damaged, so they can replace it. Simple as that. But just the way, like some people, especially when you pre-order, there might be a pop like, I don't know, let's take this Iron Man, I am Iron Man, for example. Right? A lot of people anticipate that pop so much when it comes out. It's like, it's an Avengers Endgame Funko Pop, a moment where, you know, one of the main characters sacrifices himself, and big fans of Marvel will order that pop, pre-order months in advance. So you're talking, if they've ordered it, they know they're not receiving it for like 3 months. They're waiting, you know. The day comes, they're at work. They get a phone call from the missus, or they get a message on the phone saying your parcel's been delivered by an but your parcel's been popped in the box. And all day they're thinking, ah, oh, sweet, can't wait to get home. Open that up. It's gonna be sick. They get home, open up their box, and inside their box it's just this smashed up Funko Pop, right? They go on to pop in the box to message the people to say, hey, my pop's turn up, or Zavvi, or wherever it's from, right? The pop's turn up, it's smashed up. Right, look at these pictures, it's unacceptable, right? Now, even if it has a scratch on it in my condition, you know what I mean, it's not acceptable to me. Some people are different, you know, like a proper scratch, you know, if it's got little, you know, it depends, doesn't it, right? So, they message them and they say, look, my pop's turned up damaged. Okay, we'll be happy to sort this out for you, blah blah blah. They wait 24 hours, you know. Can you confirm yourself? They confirm yourself. I wait another 24 hours anyway. 2 weeks go by. I'm not exaggerating. This is 2 weeks go by, right? And you say you finally get through to someone. You're angry. You've probably requested at this point, can I speak to a manager, right? Or if you're not, you're just talking to this agent. They go, right, we'll offer you a 10% refund if you keep the pop of 80 pence. Obviously, you're like, come on, like as if. So you're like, no, and then, okay, they're like, right, well, we unfortunately your pop is now out of stock. We'd be happy to refund you. Like, what is, like, that person's waited 3 months for this pot, and you've willingly sent them it, knowing that there's a risk it could get damaged. It gets damaged, and this person is now waited 3 months for this pop. Now, can't get the pop anywhere. It's sold out everywhere, and he's left with either a damaged pop or sending it back. Now, most people in that situation, believe it or not, will keep the pop, because even though it's damaged, it don't matter how bad smashed up it is, they've wanted that for a while, and it ain't fair for you to do that to people. That's another thing. You can't. You're letting people down big time, like, and eventually you let so many people down, it's going to come back and bite you on the butt, and it's beginning to already, I feel. So this is a warning to these places: make these changes, because otherwise people ain't going to use you.